I hope you had a chance to take a look at the blog I put up yesterday and the video version of it, talking about this study that was done by Mary Keller and presented last week in Silicon Valley about how video is displacing text on the internet. Video is becoming very, very rapidly the dominant means by which we communicate our ideas, and we will continue to communicate ideas. And it's just the very beginning of what we might look at as a kind of a transformation, a transition from being a text-driven world to being a video-driven world. This is incredibly important and kind of a seminal event, not just here on the web, but kind of in human history. What we're entering into is a different way in which we communicate our ideas with each other. And instead of writing them out, which we've done for 500 years, we're going to begin to use this incredibly powerful medium, which up until now has been in the hands of 5 or 6 major media companies and corporations and networks, and was never really in everyone else's hands. So the critical thing here is for everyone to become video literate. If you were born 500 years ago, as I always like to say, when the printing press was invented, the critical moment for you in Germany in the 15th century would have been to be print literate, that is to learn to read and write, which almost no one knew how to do before the printing press. Well, now you have to become video literate, and being video literate is more than just turning on the camera and recording something or pointing it at something and recording it. This is kind of an extremely immature sort of use of what is an incredibly powerful medium. This is a medium that's about pictures and sound and writing and graphics and editing, and most importantly, storytelling. Because if you don't hold someone's attention, they're gone. It's the same thing in text. If you don't write a compelling paragraph or a compelling novel or a compelling letter, nobody is going to stick with it until the end. Well, video is very much in the same way. The foundation of all of this is that this is a language. Video is a language. It's not just pointing a camera at something and turning it on and putting some music on the background or stuff like that. It's a way that we communicate ideas with each other, that we try to convince each other of things, that we tell stories. And since it's a language, it has a grammar. Now, most of us didn't study grammar. When I went to school, they stopped teaching grammar around 4th grade, which was sort of a tragedy. But there is a grammar to language, verbs, nouns, subject, and if you understand the grammar, you have a command of the language. There is equally a grammar to video. And the 5-shot thing, which if you look at the lessons on thevj.com, you'll see them laid out fairly quickly, that's sort of the bedrock of the grammar of storytelling or communicating ideas in video. But what makes this particularly interesting to me and to you, since you're joining us here, is that we're at the very, very beginning of this. And together, we have a chance to essentially invent the language of video. When the printing press was invented, novels didn't exist, newspapers didn't exist, books didn't exist. There was a grammar that had to be invented that was coherent to the technology of the printing press. Now we can together invent a grammar of video, of communicating ideas in video that basically hasn't been invented, and it far transcends, half-hour sitcoms or 1-minute 20 news pieces on the local news. This is a primitive use of what is an incredibly powerful medium, but this is an area that nobody has delved into yet, and that's something that we can all do together. After Gutenberg invented the printing press in 1452, and he printed his first Bible, he could have gone down to the basement and printed the New York Times. He had all the technology to make the New York Times, but it would take 350 years before somebody put that together. We don't have that long, but what we do have is the tools at our hand. So that's one of the reasons that we launched thevj.com, and that's the beginning of this fantastic expedition and trip that we're all on, and I'm glad you've decided to join us. There'll be lots more.